Good evening, afternoon or morning. Movie Cat is at the microphone, and today I will tell you about the film shows the real face of a person who condemns other people's shortcomings or even just normal life choices. For your attention is a psychological drama of 2013, Filth.
Maybe it was rubbish.
What?
To the assailants, of course.
And in order not to lose this channel, I recommend to subscribe. Carol Robertson is a police officer's wife. She puts on a seductive outfit in front of a mirror and says out loud that her husband is a real winner, which means he will definitely achieve a promotion at work. In the evening, Carol goes for a walk and comes to one of the unfavorable areas of Edinburgh. In the underpass, she notices a gang of hooligans kicking a Japanese student with a high-pitched whistle. Carol drives the bullies away. The next morning, Detective Sergeant Bruce Robertson comes to work at the police station. He really wants to be promoted to inspector. His colleagues apply for the same position, but Bruce does not consider them serious competitors. Bruce sees Doggy Gilman as a blockhead and a racist. Good detective Peter Inglis is considered gay by Bruce just because Peter takes care of himself and dresses well. Slightly absent-minded veteran Gus Bain, in the eyes of Bruce, is an impenetrable dumbass. And the newcomer with powder addiction, Ray Lennox, Bruce despises at all. But most of all, Bruce hates Amanda Drummond just because she is a woman in the police. He's sure she ended up here by sleeping with the chief. At the meeting, the chief says that a Japanese student was killed in the underpass last night. The chief dreams of becoming a screenwriter and he has no time to deal with affairs, so he entrusts the investigation to Bruce, mentioning that promotion greatly depends on this. Bruce takes newcomer Ray and travels to the area where the victim was found to question the local grass dealer. After catching a dealer with a 16-year-old girl, Bruce first blackmails the girl into giving him oral sex. Then he promises the dealer 10 years in prison for seducing a minor, and that huge guys are already waiting for him in the cell to do the same to him. A frightened dealer tells everything he knows about a gang of hooligans. Later, Bruce visits his colleague Doggy Gilman's wife and has sex with her. In the pub, Doggy tells Bruce that he suspects his wife of cheating, but he can't prove it. Doggy adds that he is jealous of Bruce because he has a beautiful wife and they, having lived for many years in marriage, are still happy. To veteran Gus Bain, Bruce hints that all of his colleagues are plotting against him to prevent him from getting promoted. On the street, Bruce suddenly hears the screams of a woman. Her husband passed out right on the sidewalk. Bruce rushes to help. He suspects the man has a heart attack and tries to resuscitate him while the ambulance is on its way. Afterwards, Bruce goes to his psychiatrist to get his medication for the next month. At home, Bruce calls his Masonic brother's wife and, speaking in the voice of a famous show character, promises to find her and have sex with. At a Masonic lodge meeting, Bruce is talking to Clifford Blatesy, a very skilled and wealthy auditor. When asked by Blatesy why he went to work for the police, Bruce replies that it's all because of police arbitrariness and corruption. No, he wasn't going to eradicate it from the inside, he just wanted to get involved. Blatesy complains that some pervert is constantly calling his wife. A little later, when Blatesy goes to the toilet, Bruce steals £200 from his jacket and immediately gives it to his drug dealer. Bruce's chief is also a Freemason, only of a higher degree, and he does not want to lose such a rich member as Blatesy. Therefore, the chief asks Bruce to investigate personally and find a telephone pervert. In the morning, Bruce comes to Blatesy's house and recommends that his wife, Bundy, play along with the phone pervert, not hang up immediately, but talk with him longer. The more he says, the easier it will be to find out who he is. The next day, Bruce is already holding a folder with the files of all members of the wanted gang. One of the gang members works at a flower shop and Bruce goes there. Bruce has no direct evidence, so he scares the suspect with prison in order to provoke her into a confession. However, she doesn't say anything and Bruce leaves. On the street, he unexpectedly meets a woman whose husband had a heart attack. She says that her husband died and she came here for flowers for the funeral. At home, Bruce becomes ill. He suddenly sees a hallucination behind him, a boy covered in coal dust. Bruce wants to take the pills the doctor prescribed for him, but puts them back in the jar at the last moment. Then the hallucinations continue and he sees a doctor who praises Bruce for his upcoming promotion and advises him not to trust anyone, not even himself. At work, Bruce writes in the closet that his colleague Peter Inglis is gay. Then Bruce goes to the chief and tells that he found this inscription in the toilet because one of his colleagues is undeservedly mocking Peter. Knowing that his boss is homophobic, Bruce emphasizes that the sex of Peter's sexual partners is his own business. In the evening, at a nightclub, Bruce pays a gay man to come up to their table and pretend he knows Peter. Now absolutely all colleagues are sure that Peter is gay, and Doggy Gilman even beats him in the face for it. Thus, Bruce gets rid of two competitors at once. The boss can't give a promotion to a gay man or a cop who hits his colleagues. Carol, in front of the mirror, says that she and Bruce sometimes quarrel, but they always make up, and in a sense they are always together, because no distance can break their bond. Knowing that the investigation is completely under his control, Bruce goes on a mini vacation with Blatesy to Hamburg. There, he drugs Blatesy and takes him to the red light district. A few days later, Bruce goes to work with a terrible hangover. On the way, he sees a newspaper headline, "Murder in the Tunnel." The police are looking for a blonde witness. The chief says that while Bruce was away, the journalists made a big fuss about the murder in the tunnel, and to keep the investigation going, he put Amanda Drummond in charge of finding the gang. This turn of events infuriates Bruce. Suddenly, a woman comes to the police station after burying her husband. The widow explains to Bruce that she stopped by last week, but Bruce was on vacation. The detectives told her which football club Bruce supported, and she needed a scarf for him in the colors of the club. The widow tells her young son that while everyone stood and watched, Bruce is the only one who tried to help his father. Bruce is a good person, and she wanted her son to become the same when he grows up. Bruce sincerely regrets that he could not do more. He gives the widow his phone number and home address in case she needs help. In the evening, Bruce drinks with newcomer Ray Lennox. The guy says that even though he's new to the department, he wants to apply for a promotion too. Carol Robertson stands in the middle of a hall filled with half-naked people. She says they can look at her but can't touch. Only one person can touch her, Bruce, and if he really wants her, he will get a promotion. Bruce at home is crying because he is watching a videotape with his wife and daughter. To fill the inner void, Bruce calls Bundy and, under the guise of a telephone pervert, tells in detail how he would have sex with her. Bundy, on his own advice, plays along with the pervert and realizes that she likes it. After that, Bruce again sees a hallucination of the doctor, who says that when a certain Steve dropped his pants, Bruce lost his wife and then a daughter, and also he will not see a promotion either. Carol Robertson stands on the street and says out loud that she is open and relaxed, and a petty affair will only strengthen their marriage with Bruce. She then gets into a car with a stranger. Bruce gets drunk all night in the car, and in the morning at the police station he gets even worse. He begins to see animal heads instead of the faces of his colleagues. The chief gives him a stern reprimand for his appearance for a murder case that doesn't move, and Bruce still hasn't found the telephone pervert. Bruce yells that the pervert is Blatesy, but the chief has already disappeared around the corner. At home, Bruce sees the boy covered in coal dust again. Bruce cries and tries several times to tell him, "Davy, it's not my fault." In the evening, Blatesy comes to Bruce to wish him a Merry Christmas and say that he is going to visit his parents for a few days. Bruce persuades him to stay and drink, then turns on a TV show he pretends to host when he calls Bundy. Bruce, for fun, asks Blatesy to parody the host and records it. While Blatesy is away, Bruce visits his wife Bundy and seduces her. After that, he begins to hallucinate again. Bruce sees the doctor accuses him of killing of younger brother Davy. The doctor adds that Davy was better than his older brother in everything and his father loved him more. And then, one day, Bruce suggested his brother climb onto a high pile of coal, and then he pushed Davy out of there, not out of malice, but as a joke. But a pile of coal collapsed and buried the boy. At the police station, Amanda angrily asks Bruce why he forgot to tell her about the blonde witness. Then Bruce begins to insult her with the last words, and even wants to hit her, but takes control of himself in time. Suddenly his anger disappears. Bruce bursts into tears and says that he was once a good detective and a good person. The chaos in his head began after he lost his family, although he does not remember how and why this was happened. Bruce goes home to find Doggy Gilmer's wife waiting for him. She says that her husband found out everything about them and tried to commit suicide by cutting his veins. In the evening, Bruce dresses in women's clothes in front of a mirror and says out loud that he believes in his husband. When he gets promoted, the Robertsons will be the happiest family ever again. Bruce walks the streets in women's clothes, as he has done many times before. Suddenly, the gang grabs him and pushes him into the car. They recognize the eccentric man in women's clothes, because it was he who they saw that night in the tunnel. Bruce does not resist, because he is sure that he is Carol, a weak, slender woman. He only repeats that his husband is Detective Sergeant Bruce Robertson. The bandits beat Bruce very badly and then decide to kill him in the morning, because he is a witness to their crime. The main bandit remains to guard the prisoner, but the beaten bearded Bruce in the blood for some reason excites him and he begins to kiss the policeman. Bruce suddenly comes to his senses, bites hard on the bandit's tongue and throws him out of the window. After being discharged from the hospital, Bruce hears from his chief that he will not see a promotion this time. Moreover, the chief demotes Bruce to a patrol officer. Later, newcomer Ray Lennox comes to Bruce and says that he got the promotion. Before leaving, Ray hints that he knows who the phone pervert really is. Bruce goes to the supermarket to buy a drink and suddenly sees his ex-wife Carol there along with their daughter and her new husband. Bruce is surprised and confused. He does not understand why his wife and daughter are shopping with another man. Suddenly, a widow comes up to Bruce and greets him at home. Bruce puts on his full police uniform, turns on the video camera and records a video for his friend Blatesy, apologizing for all the bad things he did. Then Bruce puts his feet on a chair, tightens the gift scarf around his neck and jumps off. At that moment, the widow knocks on his door and loudly asks if Bruce would like to take a walk in the park with her and her son. Thank you for watching. Have you noticed that everything for which Bruce despised his colleagues, racism, homosexuality, drug addiction, stupidity and belonging to the female sex, to one degree or another, all this is inherent in Bruce himself? Please press the finger up and subscribe the channel.